Into the ballgame is Paul McKeskey, who's become kind of a cult hero in Milwaukee, Tommy.
Fred Roberts hits McKeskey at the other end.
And good evening, everybody. Welcome to the latest edition of We Got Next. I'm Ricky Hampton with my great friend Paul McKeskey, former Milwaukee Bucks center, 12-year veteran of the NBA. And you're just an NBA lifer. Been around the game your whole life, man. I couldn't think of a better gig to ever have.
Yeah, I mean, loved the game in grade school and high school and college and NBA and coached for 20-something years. So, yeah, been around basketball my whole life.
Hey, and you're out in Vegas, and you got to see a lot of your old teammates, friends, opponents that you battled with at the summer leagues. That has to be fun when the guys get together.
Yeah, at the Retired Players Association meeting at the Cosmo, we have meetings, talk about insurance and all that stuff. And, saw Jay Humphreys and Alton Lister and Paul Pressey and, just a list of others. So, we sit around, we tell lies and tell old stories and laugh. And, Dr. J said it best, the older I get, the better I was.
Hey, you saw Alton, man. We had him on the show. He was great that night he was on the air, too. So he was back in the States for this.
Yeah, he came back for a while, and then I just saw he's doing a camp in Hong Kong already. So, and he's going back he's coaching and teaching in the Philippines. So he's on his way back.
And Mo, that's really one of the fringe benefits of this game for you guys. You played a sport that took you all over the world.
Yeah, I've been to 40 countries, I think. I've done clinics all over the world. I've coached in countries all over the world. It's the game is international, and it takes you everywhere. And, it's
40 countries, and all of that was basketball related, I'm sure. Most of it, I'm sure you vacationed. So.
Yeah, I actually had vacation time, and so the Bahamas and Caribbean and stuff. That was vacation, but I actually coached the in the Caribbean for a little bit too. So a little bit of both.
Yeah, that's just fantastic. Well, what did you think about the week of summer league action with these newcomers that you saw? I'm gonna say the good and bad because it's so early, but just your thoughts.
Well, I mean, everyone was looking to see Cooper Flagg and see how he fits in, and his first game, he only played in 2 games. That's what happens a lot. These guys, first round draft picks, usually just play in a couple games, then they shut him down. But the first game, he really struggled. He was 5 for 21, couldn't make a basket, but he was running the floor, bringing the ball down. Dallas wants him to bring the ball down more and be a ball handler and distributor, and he did that. He plays defense, ran down a couple block shots, and rebound and bring the ball down. So, it wasn't a great game for him. And then the second game, he had a much better game. He felt more comfortable. He had 21 points, I think, and 8 boards and 6 assists, and doing all the stuff. He's an NBA player. Kind of reminded me of what Wembanyama did when he was a rookie here. I saw his first game here, and he struggled. And he's playing in front of 18,000 people. Not that he hadn't played in front of people before, but it's a different expectation. You're the number 1 pick in the draft now. What are you going to do? How are you going to show us? What are you going to prove? And and obviously he's going to be something else in the NBA. And Cooper Flagg's in a different, he's not 7'4" or 5 or whatever, but he does all the other stuff that's going to make him a good NBA player. He doesn't have to score to affect the game to help you win, and that's important to coaches because you can only have a few guys that score points. You need the guys that can pass the ball, rebound, play defense, block shots, do all that stuff, and he showed me that he could do that. So we'll see in the regular season. Because, the reality is this is summer league, and all these guys are rookies or second-year guys. So, we'll see. But I was But his teammate is the one. Kneifel is the one that really showed out. He got MVP. They won the championship. He's the number 4 pick for Charlotte, and he's a wing player, shoots threes, and he really showed he averaged 50 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. Really knocks down the 3-point shot, which everybody wants to see. He was MVP of the tournament. So he showed big. Your guy, Ron Holland from the Pistons, his second year last year, he kind of struggled in the NBA, and he's still young, though. He's really athletic. We knew that. But last year in his NBA game, he shot like 23% from the 3-point line. Well, he came here and showed that he worked on that. His shot looked pretty good. I think he shot 36% from the 3. That's an improvement. So it tells me that this young player is actually understanding what he needs to work on to be a good NBA player, and he was a pleasant surprise. One of the big surprises was Portland's pick, first-round pick.
Yang Hansen?
Yang Hansen.
I was going to ask you about him.
So he's supposed to be the Chinese Joker, like everybody's saying, is Joker, and everybody else, he's not the Joker. Stop. But, he plays with energy. He plays with, he smiles a lot. He's funny. He can shoot the 3. He can pass. He's a really good passer. But, it was fun, Summer League. But I'm afraid when he gets in the real deal and he's playing the real guys that are men, there might take something out on him. And hopefully, that he can get through that and understand that he's not going to be a superstar this year. And it may take many years because he's young too. He's only 20 years old and he's 7'1". So he was interesting to watch. San Antonio, there's a guy, David Jones Garcia. He's from Puerto Rico. He's a lefty. He's about 6'6". He played in the G League last year, and he's a flat-out scorer. He shoots threes. He does pull-ups, great mid-range. Obviously 23 years old. He's been around. But I think he actually turned down a 3-year deal at Olympiacos in Greece, a big-time European team, and is going into San Antonio's training camp. But the way he played this summer, I think he's going to find a niche there in San Antonio on that young team, and he's going to be somebody to watch because he can score against anybody. I'm not going to say, we're making fun of guys being the Chinese Joker, but he kind of reminds me a little bit of Ice Gervin he's just really smooth and long and doesn't seem like he's trying that hard. And you turn around, he's got 20 points at halftime. So he was a nice surprise. And I think San Antonio, with the young team they're building, he's going to fit right in. I would watch for him next year to have a really good year.
And we're going to talk about the Western Conference, kind of go in on that tonight, Mo, because it's going to be the Wild Wild West again. But you were talking about Yang Hansen. Is it harder to or I have no idea, which is why I'm asking the question. Is it harder recruiting international, not recruiting, is it harder scouting international players than U.S.-born players? Because of how do you know if he's playing against good talent or not? Is there a difference? Is it even a difference?
Yeah, it depends on where he played over. He played in the Chinese league, so he's playing against former NBA bigs. That's who plays in the Chinese league. They make millions of dollars. So when you go over and watch him play, you're watching him play against guys that played in the NBA. So there's some comparison. Obviously, those guys are not NBA players now, but they were. So there is some comparison. It's a big change for players, not as big as it was. I was in Dallas with the Mavericks, and we had Wang Zhuzhu. Yao Ming was the first Chinese player to come over and play for Houston. But Wang Zhuzhu was 7-foot shooter, shot like Dirk Nowitzki, played in China. And we had him for a year. And, he had his ups and downs and had his promises, but he never really adapted to the athleticism in the NBA, the tough physical play in the NBA. It just never registered for him, and he went back to China to play. But that was, 15 years ago. So the game has changed, and I think this kid has a better chance to make it just because of that. And but it's going to take time and patience, and I think Portland's going to have to take some time with him and understand that he's not going to be a superstar. And I'm going to go back to when Dirk Nowitzki came in the league with Dallas. He was terrible. They took advantage of him. They beat him up. He looked horrible. They laughed at the Mavericks for taking him, but they had patience. And 2 or 3 years later, he was one of the better players in the league. So I'm not saying that this guy's Dirk, but you're going to have that kind of patience with him to see how it works out.
Hey, Woodage. Hey, what's up, Woodage? What's happening, everybody out there? Welcome to the show. Let's hear your questions and comments. Any thoughts on summer league? Any thoughts on free agency? We're gonna try to hit all of that before the show is out. And Woodage was asking about Matas Bulzis. Uh,
Yeah, you're better than I am.
yeah. From the Bulls, who only played a couple of games. 6'10" guy. Uh, did you get to see him at all, Mo?
No, but I talked to agents, I've talked to scouts and stuff, and I don't know how he played, but he's similar to OKC put Nikola Topic in the summer league. He was a rookie who was injured last year, and he's about a 6'10" forward that's kind of like Flag a little bit and really skilled, and he played really good in the summer league. So I would say he's going to fight to get in OKC's rotation, and I think the other kid's the same thing with Chicago. I saw him play a couple years ago in the G League here, and for the Ignite, the Las Vegas Ignite, and he has skill. He's talented. He needs to get stronger, like most of them, but he's going to get a chance to play in Chicago, though.
I hope that helps you, Woodage. And we definitely want to hear your questions and comments. Mo, any other thoughts on summer league? We want to move on to a couple of other topics. We got a bunch of stuff we want to try to hit tonight. Was there any kid that was kind of under the radar that you like?
Kyle Filipowski from the Utah Jazz. He was a draft pick.
Yeah.
And he lit it up.
He's at a Duke, right? He's at a Duke.
Right? Yeah. He lit it up. He averaged 29 points and 8 rebounds a game, and he played like a man amongst boys here. I don't think he played Cooper Flag, but Filipowski was one of the standouts in the summer league and all the summer league, and he's going to get a chance to play in Utah, and that's somebody to watch because he's a really good player. So I think we've covered all the guys that there's some other bigs that play. It's interesting. There's so many young bigs that they have on 7 foot, 7'1" from Senegal or Nigeria or all over the place. And everybody has a couple on their team, and they're athletic, and they block shots, and they run and can dunk and stuff. They're all looking for that guy, except one team, the Golden State Warriors, were like the 6'8" and under team. I'm like, what are you doing? You need to find a big. This is the time to do it. But evidently, they're fine starting their mini lineup.
I wish the Pistons would find another big guy too, but they are bigger than the Warriors, though. At least.
Shoot, high school teams are bigger than the Warriors.
Oh my goodness! Let's the WNBA. I mean, first of all, let's give Caitlin Clark a shout out for the impact she's had on that league and other young players. The WNBA is currently in negotiations with their CBA with the league on their next contract. And the mantra of the players, and I get it, everybody's trying to get paid. Pay us what you owe us. Uh,
surely they got that wrong, right? Surely they got that
as a former NBA player and a professional athlete, help us break this
wrong.
down, Mo.
Well, number one, their contract's good through 2027. So they're negotiating now, but they're not. The only way they're going to have something happen, this upcoming season if they sit out. So, and that will be a mistake, a huge mistake. And, I'm this is interesting to me. I think they unwillingly or unwittingly made a mistake in that T-shirt because when you say,
Let me step in to say this, Mo. During the WNBA All Star game, all the teams wore the shirt during our wars, during warm ups. Pay us what you owe us. I'm
yes,
sorry. Go ahead, Mo.
so I think they didn't understand what they were saying because when someone says hey Ricky, pay me what you owe me, what does that mean to you?
You owe me some money.
Yeah, you owe me some money. Pay me what you owe me. That's not what they should be saying
Right.
because they've been losing millions of dollars every year for the last 20 years. So what they should have said is pay us what we're earning. That's what they should have said on the shirt.
Yeah.
And then one of them walked around like a high schooler or something with a sign that said pay the players. Shut up. Are you talking? You're not getting paid? I mean, it's so ridiculous to me that the WNBA is now getting noticed. Caitlin Clark is a big part of it, but so are the other players.
Right.
They got a better TV contract than they've ever had. Attendance is better than it's ever had. But you're a baby in the league. You're a baby. You're just starting. You're 20 years old. The NBA is almost 80 years old. So you need to backtrack. And, I understand you want to get paid what you're owed, not what you're owed, what you earn. You're not. So, I want to get paid what I'm owed. So, go back in the 80s and see my contract and bring it up to this year's contract. Just 1 year, I would be happy. But
Right.
come on, that whole setup was a huge mistake. And it really set back the WNBA, all the progress they made. And that really, it's on every news. It's on all the morning shows. And it's the wrong message to say, in my opinion. Pay me what you owe. What? I don't owe you anything. They don't owe you anything. The WNBA over the last 25 years has lost almost $400 million. And guess where most of the money came from? The NBA. That's where it came from. The WNBA was owned solely by the NBA, who lost $10 million a year for over 15 years in the WNBA teams. And they
Now,
supported them. And now the NBA still owns 50% of the WNBA. So they pay 50% of the bills.
Mo, I was looking, I knew we were going to have this conversation. The Golden State, this was 24-25 last year. Golden State Warriors were the most highest value team in the league at $8.8 billion. The Knicks second, $7.5 billion. The Lakers third, $7.1 billion. The lowest at 30 in terms of worth in the NBA, the Memphis Grizzlies, $3 billion. And
Yeah.
the NBA last year's numbers, the average team was worth $96 million. Now that's gone up this year. But last year was 269. I'm sorry, it was $96 million in 24-25.
Yeah. But the NBA is 80 years old. It's a different animal, and the money is different. The decibels are different. So you got to rewind it, and because the NBA. Listen to this: the NBA owners, the owners of NBA teams, have lost $10 million a year for the last 15 years. So who should say, "Pay me what you owe me"? The NBA owners that have paid in almost $400 million to keep the league alive, and gradually players are making more, flying better. But that's it's just. And guess what's going to come to a head is those NBA owners that have put in that money for all these years are going to, when the time comes, going to say, "Where is my money? Where's my money?" Because they own half the league. So I understand the players. You want to get paid. You deserve to get paid. Here's the other thing, please. The WNBA is half an NBA season. Half. It's
Right.
3 months. It's not 8 months. It's 3 months. So you should count everything as half. Okay? So we talk about the WNBA, where they are now. So the average salary in the WNBA is $119,000 a year. That's for 3 months. So if you double that, that's $240,000 a year if you're playing a whole season, right?
Right.
And they're talking about the NBA Players Association did a smart thing years ago where they negotiated with the owners and they split the profits, the revenue, 50-50. The WNBA has no revenue. They lost $40 million last year. There's no revenue. So, I understand the problem is the WNBA players get 10% of the revenue and the NBA players get 50%. However, there is no revenue. So,
The WNBA, they play 3 months. They play 44 games.
yeah, so it's half a
That's
season.
almost half an NBA season.
No, it's a little more than half a season.
Yeah.
Yeah,
NBA is 82 games.
yeah.
So that's essentially half of the NBA season.
Yeah, so in 2002, when the WNBA was struggling and surviving, and the NBA owners were supporting it and keeping it going, the TV deal that they had was zero, nothing, zero. That's what they had. And now in 2025, that deal that they just signed last year is $60 million a year. That's nice. That's a good deal. It's $22 billion over 11 years. The NBA just signed an $8 billion deal, TV deal over 10 years. So it's apples to oranges. And the WNBA's deal is also was helped by the NBA. So I kind of, me, I did research, right? Because owe me what you pay me what you owe me. Then right? So the revenue for NBA teams in 2001, NBA teams per team, 2.5 billion. 2005, 3 billion. 2010, 3.8 billion. 2019, NBA teams were bringing in revenue of 8.8 billion. And 2021, they went down because of the pandemic, 6 billion. Those are every team bringing that in, not the league. So I went back when the NBA first started, right? George Mikan, when it first started in 1948 or 49, he made $12,000 a year. That's what he made.
Wow.
Then about 5 years later, he was still the best player in the league. He made $20,000. Then Bob Cousy came in a couple years later and made a haul of $25,000. And Wilt Chamberlain, the best player ever, in my opinion, his first year in the league, he made $30,000. He made $30,000. And that was the league had been around for 10 years that time. Then, so let's fast forward to Bill Russell in 1966 was the first six-figure player, $100,000. That's what he made, right? 20 years later, where the WNBA is right now, 20 years later, Wilt Chamberlain made $250,000. That's what he made. Now, I understand money was worth more there. I looked that up also,
Yeah.
and 250,000 back then was worth about $1.5 million. Now, that's what Wilt was making, best player in the league. So cut that in half, and you're at 600,000. And that's where the WNBA is in their career, and the highest player in the WNBA makes like 300,000 or 400,000. But the whole thought of the WNBA, you're in the beginning. Like I've told people, like I'm in the fourth quarter of my life, and young people, you're in the first quarter. The WNBA is in the first quarter of its life. The NBA is in the third quarter, and they've gone through all that.
Hey,
So
we're going into OT, baby. We're going to try to do double OT.
So we talked about the WNBA and the money, right? The TV deal. In the 1990s, the NBA started making more money in TV deal. They had Barkley and Bird and Magic and all those guys. And the Dream Team was 1992. Here's the NBA's TV deals over the years. In 1950 to 1960, ABC was the first when it first came in 1953, their TV deal was $39,000. That's what their TV deal was. Then
that was probably local too, wasn't it? Just
I have no idea. And then in '60, it picked up. ABC picked it up, and they signed a deal for $640,000 a year. And then in '79 and '80, that's when I came in the league. That's when you remember cable came in. TBS and TNT, that's when they came in, and the revenue package the NBA signed was $1.5 million a year. That was in the '80s, so that's 50 years ago. Then in '98 and '99, NBC and Turner came in, and the deal was $2.6 billion. See how it's growing? It's taken time. So that's after 30 years or 40 years. And then the deal they signed from 2014 to 2020 was $24 billion. And then the deal they have now, 24 to 35, 2024 to 2035 is $77 billion. That's Disney, ESPN, and ABC. But my point is, it gradually grew. So the WNBA is right here now. Things are going good. Your salaries are going up. You're flying private now, even though you're staying without roommates. You're making a little more money, and you got advertisement and all that. But don't mess around and pay me what you owe me. What? That turns everybody off. I mean,
and you got a short work year. 44
yeah.
days.
I mean, they're trying to make it so you don't have to go overseas and play. I understand that. But now you have, sponsorships and stuff like that. And now actually, I think like the first year there were 8 teams in the WNBA. Then it went to 17, but half of them folded back in the day. Now you're actually growing. And I think I read that 6 or 7 teams have been in the red the last year. They're actually turning a profit. You're right where you want to be. Don't mess it up with pay us what you owe us. Fans don't owe you anything. NBA does. People that should be wearing that damn shirt are, a Dr. J and, guys like that played back when they were making 500,000 or whatever. They should be wearing that shirt. I don't know. That's my opinion. I mean,
No, I think you make some great points there, Mo, especially with the way you broke down the growth of the NBA and where the WNBA is in this growth. So
the NBA is 80 years old. The WNBA is 20 years old.
Yeah.
You can't just go, okay, we're going to meet them up. It doesn't work that way. It works gradual. That's life, and you got good things going on. People are interested, and now you're going to do something like that at an All-Star game where, quite frankly, I didn't really watch it, but I saw footage of it. It was horrible. It looked like yeah, it was just brutal. And then when I'm watching ESPN and everything, and they're saying it was one big party and all the players were hungover, and the team that won, when they went together, they got together and said, okay, 1, 2, 3, hangover team hangover. That's not good. I
Yeah.
mean, even if you happen, don't advertise it. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really sad to me that so many people worked for the WNBA all these years, and from Rebecca Lobo to just go down the list, and now you got it going where you could go, and you don't understand, man. When I came in the NBA, it was this close to folding. Before Magic and Bird came in, it was this close to folding.
Do you remember they were showing? They had the finals on tape delay.
Yes, absolutely. There was no, that was the TV deal. But you have to understand and I think it was my second year in the league where we were talking about a lockout. Thank goodness we didn't do it. But things are, your league is only 20 years old and, you're growing, but it can go away like that.
I almost think that they get the feeling that they are NBA level in terms of popularity and status, and they're
Yeah.
taking that into the negotiation, and they're not. I mean, not even close. I just
I
told you what the NBA teams are worth compared to the WNBA teams.
just look at the salary. Just look, you know what? You're worth what people give you. They don't owe you anything. So,
Right.
you can negotiate, but you better be careful because, you know, let's say, I'm a bartender and I get together with all of my bartender friends and we're going to walk out on this bar, because we want to get paid more. And the bar is losing $10,000 a day.
Right. Right.
I mean, the owner's going to say, you know what? I'll just fold up and we'll just go away, man. Or I'll just find somebody else. It makes that T-shirt was put out the wrong way. Whoever decided to do that, and then it comes out, hey, I'm not going to tattle on anybody, but I'm going to tattle on someone. That's what Kelsey Plum said, that, some people weren't at the meeting in the morning where we decided to wear these shirts that said, pay us what you owe us.
Yeah.
But then the other thing, those people put those shirts on. I mean, hey, pay us for our work. Pay us, for our not pay us what you owe. Pay us what you owe us. That's the wrong message, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Our buddy Steve checked in and said he's really late. Brother, you never late. You're always on time. We appreciate you being in there. We appreciate everybody checking in tonight.
I want to hear other comments out there. Anybody listening right now? What do you think of that? The WNBA and pay us what you owe us kind of thing. If you can.
And how many of you guys out there are big WNBA fans and watch it? I'll be honest. I don't watch a lot of the regular season. I will watch some of the playoffs. My daughter was a college basketball player, so I kind of watch it because she is a big fan of the WNBA. So I do watch some to try to so I can talk with her about things. But let us hear those comments of what about what Mo said and what you think about the WNBA
I mean,
and the
yeah.
product.
I mean, I'm not like just getting amazing. And they're doing, handling the ball and shoot the ball better and run. They run offenses. I like that. I'll put it like, and they're right about it though. The referees in the WNBA are not very good. Their physical play is getting out of hand and it's getting dangerous. So they're putting up with that. But, it's a good product. People are coming out to see. And the Aces here in Las Vegas, they get 10, 12,000 people a game. And the level of play is way up. That's not the beef. The beef is
And I don't think you're hating on them at all. as a former professional athlete, you understand negotiations and the need to make money. You're just saying they're going about it the wrong way.
Well, I know in negotiations, any negotiation, there's numbers and stats and basic information. But in professional sports, when you're negotiating, what also is important is the fans' reaction and if they support you or not. That's huge because if you negotiating and the fans are on your side and they're putting pressure on the team owners and the league, hey, you got to get this done. They owe more. They deserve more money. That helps you when you're negotiating. If you're negotiating and now the fans go, man, they're a bunch of spoiled athletes that think we owe them money. And I'm paying money and bringing my family to a game.
Right.
Two different things. You got to be careful. Messaging is very, very important in negotiation and pretty much anything you do. I used to tell young players all the time, perception is everything when they don't know you. When coaches and scouts don't know you, perception is everything. I come in a gym, I sit down, and I watch you play. And now you're acting up and all upset and yelling something. I don't know what you're yelling. And I'm thinking, you're yelling at the coach, your teammates, you're very emotional. But then after the game, I talk to you and you go, well, I was just motivating myself and yelling at myself and, trying to get myself. That's not what I thought. And I'm the one to give you a job. Perception is everything. So it's got to be very important to you how people perceive you. And especially if you're going in negotiation with a professional sports team that, quite frankly, has been struggling for 20 years. They lost $40 million last year. So you got to, hey, we're playing our hearts out. We give it our all. We deserve to get, some more money. We're not asking for the world. We already got the travel like we wanted, but, help us get some more. Okay. Pay us what you owe us. Woo, not good.
Yeah. And Steve kind of hit on what you talked about earlier in terms of the officiating in the league. Hey, Paul, in this, and I'm talking NBA, I'm talking all kind of sports, NBA, NFL, WNBA. What is the why is it important to have an agent, and why is it a guy just couldn't go in and negotiate his own deal?
If you're Michael Jordan, you don't need no agent. If you're Paul Mokeski, you need an agent. And
he's an advocate for you, right? Obviously.
Yeah. So there's different things, and when you're drafted, you got your pay scale for the next 3 or 4 years, and agents really are getting your sponsorship now and stuff like that. But if you're a borderline player, your agent's calling teams trying to get you a job, trying to get you on a roster, trying to get you on a camp. They're using their relationships with general managers, coaches, player personnel people. They're working for you. And then if it doesn't work out, then they're trying to get you a job that pays money in Italy or Spain or China. So they're, for the lower level players or the borderline players, they work very hard. And, if I'm calling, I need a job and I'm calling the Lakers up, hey, I need a job. I want to make this much. And, I can help you. That's different than an agent that has a relationship with the GM there or the coach there. Hey, Paul, he'd be a good fit for your team, and he does this and he does that well, and he's he'll fit right in and help you guys win. Two different conversations, So,
Okay. Yeah. What age the Clippers old enough to join the retired players?
They don't have to. Why would they want to? They're making $3 to $70 million a year. They don't need to join anything. But yeah, they're Chris Paul signing. They got older, but you know what? If you could play, you can still play. Chris Paul averaged 8 assists a game last year and played in 82 games. Every game he played in. and he's gonna be backing up James Harden.
Wow. And they signed for only 3.6 million.
That's all.
So you like that move for the Clippers?
Sure, I like that. I think Minnesota Timberwolves could have used him. I think there's other teams that could have used him. I did not like if it's true that Damian Lillard's going to Portland. That makes no sense to me. Here's the deal: if I'm Dame Lillard, I hold the keys to everything I want in my pocket because Milwaukee Bucks are paying me $22.5 million for the rest of the whatever. So when I get better, or in February or March, I can call up whoever's in first place, or second place, or third place, or even fourth place in the West, and say, "Hey, I come for you for $3 million because that's my minimum, a 10-year veteran minimum, and then I can help you guys get over the hump. I can be coming off the bench, or I can be your eventual starter. What if Kyrie doesn't come back? I could play for you." So I don't understand. I understand Chris Paul and the Clippers deal. I don't understand Damian Lillard if he goes back to Portland. That doesn't make sense to me.
And they also signed Bradley Beal, who I think Bradley is 32, 31, 32. So they got Harden 35, Kawhi's 33. It's an old team, but they have a lot of good players on that roster.
They signed Brooke Lopez.
Yeah.
To back up Zubac. Smart. I mean,
so let's look at the West, folks. Let's look at the West.
So let me see. Wait, let me say this. Clippers, right? Harden goes down. Oh no! What do we do? Well, you throw in Chris Paul, who played 82 games last year. Zubac gets hurt. What do you do? Well, you got Brooke Lopez, who started for the Bucks last year. That's smart. I don't care how, unless now the NBA 34, 35, 36. It's not that old anymore. That anymore. It's not,
Yes.
So, I think they made some good moves.
And they re-signed Batum, a small player. Ben Simmons is still on that roster, Mo.
Bogdanovich, Bantam, Chris Dunn's a good wing.
They got John Collins, who was in Atlanta for years, a good player for the Hawks.
Yep. I mean, here's the deal. I don't care what happens 3 years from now. Who knows what's going to happen 3 years from now? I want to make a run next year. That's what That's what they're doing. That's what Bomber's doing. That's what their owner. We're going to make a run next year, and if we could get through the West, the East is not what they used to be. So we can get a championship finally in Clipperland.
Right, and the Lakers signed Marcus Smart to a 2-year contract. Does that? I mean, he's a good player. Is that what they need?
Well, what do Reeves and Luka have in common?
They can't guard anybody.
They can't guard anybody. What does Marcus Smart do? He defends. Exactly. So does that make sense now? Absolutely. And they picked up Ayton. He's actually a young center that hasn't reached his potential. So now they have a legitimate center. I mean, and they have Connect, who's struggling in the summer league, but he's a shooter. And they got Vanderbilt, who's a defensive player. They got Vincent, who helped them a little bit next year. So the Lakers,
I saw an old guy named LeBron something.
Yeah, I mean, they're going for it. So Reeves and Luka are going to be there. Hachimura is going to be there. Remember Hachimura? Ayton's going to be there. Connect is going to be there. But Marcus Smart and LeBron and but they're moving on. They're thinking ahead without selling the farm. They have a good enough chance to win the West as anybody if they stay healthy.
Mo, when you look at the West, that conference is loaded, man. Look at Oklahoma City. Look what Houston's done, bringing in Kevin Durant. The Lakers, Denver, Clippers, Minnesota. I mean,
Minnesota. Minnesota's falling back drastically. They didn't do anything. They just re-signed their players. They did a run it back thing, and that didn't get them there last year, and it's not going to get them there this year. And I think that they took, because look at what the Clippers did. We just talked about Harden, Kawhi, Beal, Derek Jones, Zubac, Bogdanovich, Lopez, Chris Paul, Bantam. Hello, Houston. How about Houston? Houston. Everyone thinks Houston got robbed in that trade. Back up, baby. They got Van Fleet, Jabari Smith, Finley Smith, KD, Sengun, Amen Thompson, Steve Adams, Capella, Eason, who's a good big, Shepard, who's a shooter. Hello. I mean, really. Then OKC can run it back because they were deep enough, right? It was Shea and Caruso and Dort and Harkenstein and Holmgren, Jalen Williams, Wallace. Topic is going to play this year, Wiggins, so they can run it back. Lakers, we talked about Luka, Reeves, Hachimura, LeBron, Ayton, Marcus Smart, Vanderbilt, Connect. Then Denver, they actually made moves this year, right? So they got Murray, Cam Johnson, Brown, Gordon, the Joker. They signed a couple other guys.
I'm looking now at Valanciunas is going there.
Yeah,
The Joker.
a backup for Joker. Yeah, and they picked up somebody else. I can't remember who that is, but yeah. So then the Suns are still.
Has Westbrook signed? He has not signed with anybody yet.
I think he's re-signing with Denver, but I'm not positive. He's a free agent. He might not be signed. But, look at the Suns, right? They got Booker, Green, Brooks. They signed Mike Williams, Malachowak from Kansas, the big. Dallas. They signed D'Angelo Russell to hold down the fort till Kyrie gets back, hopefully this year. And then they have Flag. They added Flag. They're going to be someone to reckon with. So, and you got Golden State and Minnesota. They're there too. But
what about San Antonio?
San Antonio's interesting because they're young. They've added some good pieces. They're still young, but I could see them in the play-on and maybe in the play-in and maybe making some damage this year because they need experience. I think they've had they've had 2 back-to-back Rookie of the Years, and then they signed the guard.
Let's see who
they signed Dylan Harper, second pick in the draft.
Right, and they still got Harrison Barnes, good solid player.
Hassel.
Yeah.
They're young, and they just need to mature together and add some pieces.
Would they be in the playoffs if they win the East? San Antonio.
Would they be in the playoffs?
Yeah, they finished top 8.
Probably, maybe. But Orlando. I think Cleveland's going to come back. Boston is depleted. They've kind of sold the farm. Milwaukee's still seeing what they can do. Who else are we thinking about? Miami is Miami. The Knicks are probably the favorite in the East this year. Chicago, nah. So we'll see.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter because they're in the West, and the West is low. I just look at a team like New Orleans, man, and damn, what y'all gonna do? They're just running that quicksand, Paul.
Yeah, you make a couple bad decisions, and look what happens, right? And that's the NBA now. It's going to be. But you know what? Where were we a few months ago? What were we talking about? We were talking about the best ability is availability. So all these teams in the West we rattled off, they're an injury away from just being average again, So that's, if you're an NBA team right now and you're getting ready for training camp, you want to make sure your players are fit and ready. You don't wear them out. And that's what these other teams are doing, though, too. They're getting deep enough so their players, like Clippers now, Harden doesn't have to play all those minutes because Chris Paul can come in and relieve them. That's why they make these moves. And Zubac doesn't have to play all those minutes because they signed Lopez. So that accumulates during the year. So when you get the final stretch and you get your spots in the playoffs, now you're going to be healthy going into the playoffs. That's the most important thing.
Well, I'm looking at the unrestricted free agents, and I'm looking at the free agents. Some of these guys are restricted. Kaminga is restricted. Giddy is restricted. Uh, Malik
Hey,
Beasley's restricted, but I don't think anybody's going to sign him now. Al Horford is free, 39
yeah,
years old.
Golden State was talking to him, I think, to give some kind of big. And, Peyton the second, he's a guard that's out there that can help a team. He's a defender. He's been there. He's won champion. So he's a guy you could add to one of those rosters we just said that can help you, right?
Yes, for sure. For sure. I was looking at I'm looking at the top 73. Yes, Westbrook has not re-signed with anybody yet, so he is still an unrestricted free agent.
Yeah, the one thing that he did last year that was so valuable is he proved to people that he can be effective coming off the bench, very effective, because he couldn't do it in Clippers. He hasn't done it in the past, and he's proven that. So he has value for a lot of teams now.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with you, man.
And then the ways to do
I mean, come on, man. You know what? There's T-shirts that said, "Thank you for coming."
They have
Keep
capitalism.
keep supporting us. We're gonna play good. We're gonna play hard for you. That's what the T-shirt should say.
Steve thinks OKC will be even better.
They have experience. They've won it. They're champions. So, but you got to be careful, right? Everybody thought Boston would be better a couple of years ago, and they, injuries and all kinds of things. I've predicted this a little bit, and I'm sorry, I don't want to be Dr. Death, but see, I can see Holmgren going down again. He's so fragile. He falls down a lot. He gets physical play against him, and if he goes down for extended period of time and, has time coming back, they worked it out last year because of Hartenstein, but I think the West is stronger this year. And if that happens again this year, then I think OKC could be in some trouble.
Well, you know what? I tell you, man, you're always on point. And I was thinking that too about Holmgren, because as frail as he is, he will mix it up. And sometimes that's a bad thing, because he will just get in the middle of something, man. And hey.
Yeah, see, I agree. But I like that. I don't want a timid guy.
No, I get that.
But here's what he should do. He needs to spend the summer going to some gymnastic class or jujitsu class, because he needs to learn how to fall. There's guys that fall hard. Anthony Davis falls hard. Every time he falls, you got to learn how to fall and take the hit and roll a little bit, and especially if you're Holmgren, you don't have any padding like I did. When you land, you're landing on your bones, and that hurts.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, guys train in all kinds of things, right? They train, with balance and all this other stuff. You should, if you're a guy like Holmgren or AD that falls a lot, you should find someone to teach you how to fall. Find a stunt man.
Tesla took a step back. Malik Beasley is the guy he's talking about. What do you think? What does Malik Beasley need to do to salvage his career? Can he do that?
I don't know what the situation is. I don't know what the specifics are. I think it will. And here's the problem. I'm in Vegas too. Those side bets that you can put on games now, like points an individual scorer makes, how many threes he's going to make, how many rebounds he's going to get. All those things are in the individual player's hands, and they, if they want to, they can. Hey, I've already made 2 threes. The over-under is me making 3, and whatever, and that's dangerous. The mind-boggling thing is, he's thrown away what, 40 million, 50 million, I don't know what, and I don't think he's betting enough to make that up. But it's a scary situation, and you don't want to put your future on a guy that in about a month or two might be suspended for a season.
Right.
Then where you're at, you need to spend your money wisely somewhere else. And the good thing with the Pistons is they can do that still because they haven't made. Have they signed him, or is he a free agent?
No, they didn't sign him, and they just stepped away, and they went with Duncan Robinson.
Yep. So, and I think they probably might have some money left over. So, but it's going to take this working itself out. Then it's going to take the teams that are interested in him or have to be calling Adam Silver in the league. What are you going to do? Are you going to suspend him for 5 games, 10 games, 15 games? The rest of the season? You got to give us a heads up. Well, we can't tell you that. So it's going to be a risky move for somebody.
BC owes his Bob in Milwaukee $300.
Damn, Steve. How long is his hair? I don't charge anything.
That's Steve gets the comment of the night.
How do you owe somebody 300? A barber 300 grand.
How's that a thing, man?
You know how they do. You know what they do a lot of times? They fly them around with them or something. You know what though? All the NBA teams have barbers in their locker rooms. They provide them. That's just stupidity. I mean, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's just some craziness. But we're heading down the home stretch here.
That was a funny comment.
How is that even possible?
I don't know, man. That's expensive. What's he sprinkle gold on your hair after he's done or what?
Hey, Mo, why would Portland re-sign Damian Lillard? I know he's a hometown favorite there for all those years. What's the basketball sense of that?
Well, he's cheap, right?
Well, yeah, I guess he is.
So if you can get him, if he plays a little bit at the end of next year, and then 2 years from now he's back to Dame Lillard, and you're paying him $3 million a year, not a bad move, right? But I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know why Dame would want to do that. If I'm Dame, I'm driving this thing, man. I'm going to make all this money, and I can pick whatever. I'm a free agent. I can pick whatever team I want, and you know what? I'm not doing it till February and see where things are working out now. And I'm gonna get myself a ring. You don't have a ring.
Yeah. Well, I just got a text from one of my buddies while watching the show, and he agrees with you on the WNBA. I think and everybody that commented tonight feels they went a little too far with that.
It's the wrong message at the wrong time. You're negotiating. You want people on your side. And they worded it wrong. Whoever thought that, I'm telling you right now, whoever thought that was not very smart. If you put something on a T-shirt you should never put on there. Pay me what you owe me. What? No, my first reaction is I don't owe you anything. I mean, pay me what we're worth. Treat us like whatever. I don't care, but not pay me what you owe me.
Mo, get your Brewers cap. Brewers going 4-11 in a row.
I got to get one. This is Deuce's hat, man. Deuce's. I met them in Vegas. They gave me some hats to wear. It's nice.
Hey, Mo, did you ever go to Old County Stadium for Brewers games?
Yeah. I took my dad before he passed away. And we went up and met Bob Euchre in the press box. And, we had seats over the – and then my dad was in heaven. Yeah. Oh, for sure. Paul Molitor, Robin Yount, all those guys.
Oh, they were good back then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to come over there for Packers games. The Packers used to go to Milwaukee a couple of times a year, it seems, right? Yeah. Yeah,
play on that. They hated it. I used to go, Don Mikowski and Tim Harris. Yeah, I mean, I knew those guys, played golf with those guys, and they would like to come to Milwaukee because we go out after the game, but they hated playing on that field, man. It was terrible.
It was.
They stayed at the old Pfister Hotel, the old hotel in Milwaukee.
Well, man, we got to get out of here, Mo. Great show. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll be back next Monday. Until then, for my great friend Paul Mokeski, I'm Ricky Hampton. Peace, everybody. See you next Monday, 9 EST.
Deuces, maybe. All right, man.
All right, good night.
Oh, Canada.
Put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother.
It means nothing. It means nothing.
Nah, they lying to you. It's about the money.